My boyfriend's abusive parents started beating him over his sister's complaint that we were eating too much lasagna, and it ended with his father screaming an inch away from my face about how pathetic I was for having a panic attack. I, 21F, mostly need to get this off my chest, I won't lie. Charlie, 21M, lives 15 to 20 minutes away by car. We've been dating 5 months and it used to be my pleasure to drive up there and spend a few nights at his place. I knew his parents are abusive and scream at him for nothing sometimes, physically assault him and take away his phone and computer. He will be able to get out of there by the end of the school year, when he gets an internship. His plan for the future is to have very limited to absolutely no contact with his shit family. I tried to make sure his family liked me, and it worked. I always tried to be very agreeable and nice to them, and since they love keeping up appearances anyway, it worked pretty well. Some time ago, I'm going to guess about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I was staying over on a Sunday evening and didn't have my car, because a friend of ours would come drive us to school in the morning. The parents had been away all day, they came home in the evening, pretty drunk actually, and Charlie's little sister, 17F, went to complain that we ate too much lasagna or something. Okay, sibling trouble. His parents then proceeded to severely overreact to dumb sibling trouble by calling him in the kitchen, berating him, and screaming at him. He apologized and left me in the room while he went there, told me not to worry too much, and this is normal to him, it happens all the time. So there I was alone in his room, in the dark, absolutely panicked because nothing terrifies me more than people screaming, helpless, alone, in danger and with no way out, because I didn't even have my car there. I had been in this situation before and it went about the same way. I don't know how to really convey how terrified I was. So I was having one hell of a panic attack and crying like I was actively trying to shoot my eyes out of my sockets, and I hear a bang and louder screaming, so I think they're attacking Charlie and I panic, some more, and go to the kitchen, again, in tears. I arrive and attempt to say something like, "Is everything okay here?" It comes out as, "What is wrong with you people?" With a broken, tearful, pathetic, screamy voice. Obviously I still regret this. It sounds like a bad excuse, but I wasn't really in control here. Next thing I know, Charlie's father, a terrifying motherfucker, is millimeters away from my face, screaming at me so hard I think he actually spluttered on my face. My first instinct was to block him with my arm and push him away as hard as I could. I'm frail, and from there my boyfriend finished the job by pushing him the hell away. It was a mess. Everyone was screaming. I was trying to get my phone, and kept repeating, "I'm calling my dad, I'm calling my dad." In the end I didn't. I was still sobbing so hard my chest was actually hurting. At some point I thought I couldn't breathe anymore. When Charlie was done pushing the whole family away from me, he gently took me by the shoulders and led me outside to get away and calm down. He was very sweet and patient and seemed to know exactly what to do, including getting me out of there. His mother came out a few times on the doorstep to glare at us wordlessly. Charlie said, "Go away, can't you see she's not doing well, can't you see this isn't normal behavior, she's not used to it." She tried arguing that I wasn't to speak to them this way, don't know if this is the correct wording, but he made her leave. He let me calm down, said it was a normal reaction. I kept apologizing and he didn't let me. He let me go inside to pack my bags and talk to his family in the meantime so I didn't have to face them. We left through the window so they wouldn't try to stop us, and went to seek refuge at his aunt's place. Everyone there was very sweet and welcoming. Everyone in the family knows Charlie's mom is a monster. I haven't faced Charlie's parents since. I refused to. Charlie told me he told his mom this isn't normal, and she said, "Do you think she's normal with her gross scars all over her arms?" I used to self-harm and I haven't done it in years. My scars are very faded. She's just a disgusting, vile woman. The thought of talking to them makes me sick. I've ignored them the last time I saw them from far away. Last time I picked up my boyfriend I was very scared just from being in my locked car in front of the house for 5 minutes. I know I'm not over it and need to process it. I was actually hoping this thread would help me overcome the ADHD and finally text my therapist. My boyfriend seems to understand that I don't want to come back. I told him I probably wouldn't apologize to his parents, and didn't want to see them. At least for now, I just can't. He seems to be getting sort of tired of it though. I feel bad that he has to come over. We both live with our families, though I try to make it as comfortable as possible and my family likes him. He has expressed today that he's sort of upset that he has to choose between being home and being with me. I don't think he understands how terrified I was, and I don't know how to tell him so he understands. I have this feeling that he's so used to it he just thinks I should stop feeling bad after a few days. That's sort of the way he acts sometimes, though he keeps telling me it's all right. I know it bothers him. I don't know what to do. Edit. Thank you. I didn't expect so many responses. I don't know how to answer everybody, but I appreciate every response, even those guys that try to determine in what context it is okay to assault your child over lasagna. I'd like to stress that the reason I was so panicky is also because they have a history of physical abuse. I ran in when I thought they might be hitting Charlie. I agree I was overreacting. I disagree though that I owe them any excuses, because acting adequately anyway would have been to leave quietly and never cross paths with these people again. Charlie and I are on the same team. We've been talking about this and I've been translating the comments for him. This post led to a sincere talk about how we were both feeling about it, and that's ultimately what I wanted. I am not going back there, and Charlie agrees with that fully. He said he didn't realize I took it so harshly and was still thinking about it. Obviously he's not a mind reader. Charlie is getting out in a few months. That's when we all leave the school we're both in for an internship, and until then we're gonna make it work like this. Thank you. Update, 14 months later. Some posters commented on me saying I'll call my dad. And not doing it. I didn't explain that I wouldn't have called my dad as I felt like this was all my fault. I said that to introduce the idea that another adult could hear them be this way and see if it would affect their behavior. Later we had to flee out of the window to go my ex's aunt's. My ex caught me writing the last post. Laughed at comments that said that he shouldn't want me to go back there, and agreed with comments that said my decision was stupid. Which I guess it was. I didn't dare talk back to commenters and pretended like my ex 100% rejected his parents and was a good person. What I didn't say is that he never got a job during the summer despite multiple family members offering him easy gigs, always wanted to go out for fast food and let me pay, told me that not everyone was as wealthy as I was when I complained. I'd gotten a summer job at a clinic despite crippling yet undiagnosed PTSD making me cry and hurt myself every morning and evening because I was so scared of interacting with people. 2 months after that post he got tired of coming over and nagged me into apologizing to his parents. I went back, despite being absolutely terrified just being in the house. When he stayed over at my place where my parents left us alone, he stayed up all night playing Fortnite despite me telling him I couldn't sleep. He didn't care. I was severely sleep deprived all the time. He would smoke on the balcony despite me asking him not to, stomp around the house at night when everyone was asleep, and then would sleep until sometimes 6 p.m., leaving me to wait around the house for him until it was dark and the day was practically over for me. He had no respect for the routine I'd set up for myself to exercise, be healthy and keep my head above the water. He got mad at me the one time I hit myself without thinking and left a bruise during a breakdown that took me days to recover from, then told his female friend over Discord what I'd done after she admitted to doing the same, after he comforted her the way he never comforted me and told her she was beautiful and unique. I had to buy him his tobacco, smoking paper and filters to keep him from being horrible. He said he couldn't help it when he didn't smoke for a while. At the time I was still trying to quit smoking, and he kept giving me cigarettes and smoking around me, and not having a cig made me upset but not to the point of being mean to my partner. He never brushed his fucking teeth. Got really fucking mad at me when I asked him to brush his teeth and ignored me. Combine this with 20 cigarettes a day. I was prescribed Paxil, and it did nothing but give me bad side effects. When I went off it gave me terrible withdrawal symptoms, weird electric shocks, flu-like symptoms and terrible despair and crying. I once spent an entire night crying my eyes out and being sick while he ignored me and played Fortnite, not even turning off the screen to let me sleep. He would punch walls when he was mad. I would show up at his house to go to our planned date and he would be drunk and I had to sit down and wait for hours until he could move without puking. He would tell me he'd come to my house in the evening and be 5 hours late. Once he literally went to the cinema with a friend without telling me after he said he'd come over. He laughed at me when I was upset. He dragged me to parties when I said I was afraid of people yelling and being drunk. He got mad at me until I went. He was either upset at me when I had to leave because I was terrified, or pretended to care about my well-being for 5 minutes and stayed at the party while I drove home sobbing, until he drank a bottle of vodka and ate 5 edibles at once because he thought that was some weak stuff, and then I had to come pick him up in my pajamas and hold him all night until he stopped crying about people's faces being made of colors. But you know the very worst in that relationship? I stayed while he was passed out drunk. I kept giving my money away after I said I didn't like it. I bought him more cigarettes. I didn't kick him out of my house. I drove him everywhere. I let him make fun of me and screw with my head. I went back to his abusive household and played nice. So much of it is on me. I'm so very mad at him, but really I am so mad at myself. I can't believe this was all I thought I was worth. I moved to the UK from the south of France in May for an internship. I left him after he told me I was just too lazy to make food and I should stop complaining because he's got real problems. In response to me being exhausted all the time and being literally too scared to go outside and go grocery shopping. Panic attacks level scared. His problems were him doing badly in school and not caring about it, and sleep apnea I'd been trying to get him to see the doctor and treat for 6 months. At this point he still wasn't trying to move out and was content letting him mom iron his t-shirts, and playing video games all day and night while being silent on Discord calls with me. I'm still in the UK. I made a few friends. I discovered I have CPTSD. It's very hard and I've been very alone. I feel a lot of shame. I've been making sense of my life and relationships up till now. I needed to write this somewhere people will see it. You don't have to stay with people who let you cry your eyes out over your dead cat while ignoring you and complaining that your parents' food is disgusting and he wants to go to Burger King. And let you pay for it. Unlikely thanks to that one commenter on my previous post that said I probably have PTSD and I should get out of that clusterfudge, that we all laughed at and downvoted at the time. Cheers, mate. Edit wasn't expecting so many comments. I can't answer everyone but I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for the support.